So like 80-degree weather, 90-degree weather. In the actual book for The Wolf of Wall Street, it's like middle of the book, so I'm pulling a random scene to let you know how much better it is than the movie. It's him and his buddy and like their wives, or like maybe they were fucking prostitutes. I don't remember. Honestly, with the way his first wife was, I'm pretty sure she was. Please, dear God, don't sue me, Jordan.
Jordan Peterson. Or not
no.
Belfort, yeah.
Yeah, Belfort. The actual Wolf of Wall Street, even though he wasn't called that. But so him and his buddy, high as fuck, took a yacht into the middle of the Mediterranean during a hurricane. And like they had the Coast Guard called out to go and get them. And like their yacht was fucking taken out of water. Like this boat was going down. And so they needed the Greek, I believe it was the Greek Coast Guard, to come out and pick them up. And Jordan was like, but what about the Quaaludes? So he made his friend go down into the hold of the ship that is sinking when there's water filling in and like look around and get the fucking Quaaludes before they're airlifted out of there.
Hey, man, that's just supply and demand. They don't make those things anymore, bro.
This is back when they were still producing them, though.
Quaaludes are expired. I thought that was the whole point, weren't they?
Oh shit, maybe that was. Okay, you're probably right.
They're stronger because they're like so expired, and then you just can't, like, they stop producing them.
Jesus fucking
Christ.
So that's just one example of how much more insane and just nuts the book was.
I think the part of the yacht and getting rescued is in the movie, isn't it? I remember I remember them telling them not to go on the yacht, and then them being in like the Coast Guard's ship instead after.
Correct. So they didn't go into like as much detail with the yacht scene. It was more just like that they sunk the yacht out there, and it was just kind of like this flippant thing of like sinking a yacht was peanuts to this dude during this point in time. It wasn't like I nearly killed my buddy over some Quaaludes because I was high as balls.
I gotta read. One of my friends left that book in my house, and I've just been like putting off reading it, but I gotta read that. Everyone says it's good. You recommend it, don't you?
I do. It's a phenomenal book.
Same name of the movie, right? The Wolf of Wall Street.
Correct. Same name and everything. Actually, it's pretty crazy. If you do want like really in the weeds sales information, that dude has a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, dude. After that movie came out, bro, I tried to follow him, and then it's like he's like, "Do you want to be an alpha? Comment Wolf and DM." I'm like, I'm not doing all that. Like, dude, I just wanted to see some Margot Robbie titties more often. Like,
if only.
Dude, it was like the way it sounds like such a chain. The way he does it, though, he's like, "Comment Wolf in my comment section, so I know that you're like a real alpha," and I'm like.
Hey, he's
got his thing. He knows I fucking
I'm
recording with a blanket and
exactly.
So who am I to judge?
I use the void as my background just because
we stare long enough into the void does a podcast with you.
That's my hope. One of these days it's going to join in and I'm going to piss myself just all over the floor. I'll be standing here like,
that'd be wild. Just a little face just materializes, bro. That would be
Jesus Christ. Cheshire Cat just coming in out of
dude. This is some like 2007 Jeff the Killer stuff, bro.
Fuck, dude. Goddamn creepypasta.
Take me back, bro. Take me back.
The good old days. Speaking of the good old days, so for anyone who's not familiar, this is the Alternative Lumberjack. He actually encouraged me recently to go from just doing random ass YouTube videos to doing a podcast. So thank you for that, by the way. Hopefully we both shoot off to the moon in terms of viewership. We'll see though.
I always say, man, only one of us needs to make it. We'll Adam Sandler our way to the rest of it. We'll all come up together. Exactly.
Just one person, and then just fucking
just the rest of us. Yo.
Hold on tight to those.
It's like, hey, can I cut you in line? It's like, sure, and then like 5 more people follow behind him. It's us, dude.
Exactly. So first name's Austin. My first name, for anyone who doesn't know, is Samuel. We actually grew up together
Upstate New York.
in a shitty trailer park in upstate New York.
Hey, you could take
hey,
the boy out of the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out of the boy. I always say that.
I try to do that every day of my life, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, yours doesn't help. You probably drive by it on your way to work all the time.
Like once every other week. Once every
really?
week, I drive by. Yeah, you know how bad it was when we were kids. Like we thought it was kind of bad, or at least I did. It's gone downhill even more. Like, yeah, it's just. I'll send you a video sometime.
That's all right. I don't.
You don't need to see
periods of time. I go long periods of time forgetting that's a real place, bro.
Good for you. As you said, I drive by it too often.
Leaving the state definitely helps.
I can imagine. It's been on my mind with these taxes.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine. I forgot. I always forget because I haven't been in a while, bro. I always forget about what that is.
Guess how much my income went to taxes for last month?
Like the percentage? It's 10, isn't it?
No, like total my total tax loss, like federal, state, everything.
A little under $2,000.
Percentage.
Oh,
I won't discuss. I won't discuss the specifics.
Yeah, no. That was a smart idea.
Well, no, it's because last month was trash.
Oh, so rookie numbers. You gotta pump them up. 30%.
Close, yeah, 34%.
34%.
So you were right on the money there. They came up with this new tax called family and medical leave tax, which is like, you know how there's like all the different forms of like PTO that you can take for different jobs. They came up with another one subsidized by the state, so there's another tax we have to pay into, which is bullshit. Yeah.
Those are your overall taxes, or that's 30% on top of the rest of them?
Overall taxes.
Oh, I was like, God
overall taxes
damn,
is
dude,
like
that's
34%.
rough.
I would have. I'm not going to talk about this.
Move out of the state.
I'd be going to Albany, bro. Fuck that.
Albany is still in New York, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm making a suggestion about what I would do if we were taxed at that rate. Yeah,
I know my state capitals.
Okay, there you go.
I got it.
What's the state capital of Florida? Florida.
Tallahassee, isn't it?
Probably. I don't fucking know.
I always want to say it's Jacksonville, and I never feel confident about that. I've been here a while too. Jamie, pull that up.
No, that's a real Floridian thing there, where you don't even think about where your state capital is.
I just know I don't even like that whole area of Florida, the whole Panhandle.
Yeah,
because it gets cold there, like 40s to 60s in the winter. Like it gets colder there, and 40s then
to 60s in the winter.
Yeah, I know, but like, bro, I'd be coming off the roof sometimes, and I'd be like,
no, that's true.
You take me out back and shoot me now, like put me down. I've been a workhorse like my whole life, dude. I'm gonna go out like one.
Oh, exactly.
I break one more ankle, dude. Just take me out back, shoot me up full of ketamine, and just put me down, dude. Let me take me, fill me full of horse tranquilizers, and take me to the farm upstate, brother.
look at the flowers, George.
Yeah,
look at the flowers. What age did we start like working at again? I
was right. I had to Google it. I'm sorry.
Tallahassee.
It was
no
Tallahassee.
Worries. It's okay. I was buying time.
Yeah, I was just like trying not to like be super obvious about Googling it as my phone lights up like a ring light. Age-wise, we met. Had to have been the third grade because that's why I moved around. Yeah. It was either third or fifth, or one of the two. It couldn't have been fourth because I knew where I was for that one. So it was either a year before or a year after fourth grade. And if you're not from someplace where it snows a lot, and an easy way to make $10, $20 at just barely hitting like the double age bracket or double digits is just shoveling people's driveways. People really don't want to do it. A lot of snow plows won't come down certain roads if they can't turn around, or they make it worse when they drive by. And you just knock on the door. You just knock on the door like, "Hey, I got my own shovel. You don't have to pay me until it's done." And just most people are like, "Yep, go for it. Knock on the door when it's done again. I'll come check."
Well, especially for us, because although I'll look back and shit on where we grew up, one lucky thing looking back on it too that helped us out were all the damn retirees who like
Oh
really
yeah,
shouldn't have been doing that period.
yeah.
So that was always helpful.
There was definitely, if you've been fortunate enough to not have been in a trailer park your whole life, there are morbidly obese people there somehow. I don't know how they're like one of the lowest sections of. I'm just getting off on it.
Yeah, no.
But they don't like doing their own driveway. Was the point, and it doesn't have to be in the winter. You know, sometimes you can rake some leaves in the fall, and that's a pretty good one. That one gets monotonous though, bro. You missed a leaf, yeah, bro. I'm not picking them all up.
Right? Like, okay, look,
paying me by the leaf, dude.
Oh my god, payment terms too. That was always fun to
Dude, we
figure
got
out.
stiffed a couple times.
We
were like 11 years old, and I'm still thinking about that one time. I think that woman like conned us into doing it like 2 or 3 times before we were like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I don't have like, what was it? She's like, I only have a 20. So how about like you do our driveway until it's $20, and then she just like stopped answering her door. And I'm like, cool.
Did we just leave, or did we put the snow back on her that
I
time?
wish we did, but I think we just moved on to another house, brother.
We should have put the snow back.
I think that would have been more unpaid labor.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm a petty son of a bitch. Plus, you can't let word get out that you'll let
that's true
take
too.
advantage of you. Yeah.
Well, we just started like, I think we started doing other stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, we started because I remember we started in the fall with like raking the leaves, and then we went to doing the snow shoveling, and that was monotonous, awful work. As you said, people would stiff you for that more often than not, and it was cold. Then later that year, it just kind of became like other stuff that we do in the spring. Random weird shit too, like moving wood for people that had wood stoves in a trailer.
Chopping wood.
That's right. We did that. We did chopping wood too.
I've chopped so much wood in my life, dude. I miss having a fire pit. I miss just having a fire because it's cold outside and not because you had a couple friends over or whatever. Florida gets there's a couple where I am, it gets dry enough that like some area or sometimes there's no burn.
Yep.
And that's blows.
They actually where I moved to now, they actually enforce the burn ban because I'm like in a more residential area. Whereas where we were growing up, even though it was like technically in town, no one gave a fuck unless it was a bonfire. And that'd just be someone in like one of the pickup trucks for the fire department to drive past and tell you to tone it down.
Right. It's kind of like that here. If you have just like a small fire pit, at least no one's like calling the cops on you or whatever. But like they do in California. I don't know if you had that problem while you were out there.
California.
We used to like, bro, we were like trying to have fires inside garages so the PMO would leave us alone, dude. Like, yeah, dude, it was not anything to just be like.
You're on Pendleton. I was on Pendleton too, but like for anyone who doesn't know, we were both in the Marine Corps. So with the one base we were on.
Service, by the way, brother.
Say again?
I didn't know you were a Marine. Thank you for your service.
Oh yeah, thank you for your service too.
Thank you, brother. Oh, I caught that one. I said that to them the other day and they didn't get it, and I was like, oh,
really?
I was like, yeah, like somebody said like service, and just off the top of my head, I was like, oh, thank you for your service, and he's like, I don't get it, and I was like, man, it's different. It's different out here, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, were they in like the same age group? So like similar?
Yeah, it was just
generation?
it was just like a friend at work.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, they just
he just said he hadn't heard it before.
You're just a weirdo then. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get those. I'm one too. So I mean, like, you know, should I really judge? I will anyway. Fuck. Let's see. So we're both on Pendleton, but within Pendleton, it's like a huge base. Like it takes you a while to just drive across it.
It's like its own small town almost.
It's
self-sufficient.
It's actually bigger than Tompkins County. where we like the county.
I don't think I fully explored that base, and I don't mean just like where you're not supposed to go. I think there's areas where I was like, I don't need to be there.
I wanted to find out just how big it was.
Well, a lot of it's just the field, like the surrounding. That's why they
literally
bought it. Yeah.
So there's the field where there's sections for like ranges, land nav, and stuff like that, and there's also just a lot of the base that is just open wilderness, like it's preserve
like
land.
Wilderness, yeah.
Like wilderness.
I didn't believe Buffalo. I didn't believe Buffalo were just in the middle of all these communities on base. And then you saw them?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you.
Oh, no. Like that you. So
no, I just didn't believe them until I saw Buffalo, and then we were just in the field.
That?
Yeah, we were shooting. We were doing a night range, and they stopped it because like they had walked out and just like sat there.
Didn't give a fuck, right?
Oh, bro, dude, they were just so used to it.
So me and my section mates, so like unlike a squad for the fire for like the 11s, we have a section for 51s. For anyone who doesn't know, these are different military terms, codes to just describe our jobs. Our staff sergeant had us go out and clean up this one range from unexploded ordnance because we're the explosives guys. And we're out there picking up basically parts of bombs that didn't go off and like the explosive stuff to clean it up. And these buffalo just come in and fucking chase us off the range.
Yeah, that's where I saw that. That's where I saw them because we were dropping off all the ammo afterwards because we were the range instructors, so we had to take all the casings to the demo. Yeah, that was. I was excited. I never believed them. I never saw them. No one ever has a picture of them.
That's so crazy.
Like too. I never just be driving and see them. So I was like, sure. There's just wild buffalo in between all these communities of people. Us just shooting off guns and mortars. It used to I used to be in bed and all you hear is, and I'm like, cool guys, 11:30 Tuesday night. PT 5:30 guys.
We were. So which sub camp were you on? Because I was on Horno.
I was in Polgus. Everyone's gonna flame me for that one. Everyone who knows what that is gonna flame me for that one. I was in Polgus, 41 area.
There you go.
Larsock baby. Today will be the same. I say that all the time. That's like one of that. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
The reason I bring that up specifically is because I found out about this when I was pretty late in my career. One of the reasons why we didn't have that many MPs show up, like even for fires and stuff, is because units, people who were there before I was, that's for sure, had flipped a MP's car and lit it on fire during a pre-deployment leave party.
Yeah.
So they had to have at least 2 cruisers on site whenever they got called out.
What was... Dude, I think it was Horno.
Yeah,
it's all the stories. All the stories I can think of where like those happened. Like we had stuff. Oh god, those are condemned buildings, man.
Those were my barracks, dude.
I'm trying to think of like every party we've. There is one story I have with PMO coming to Polgus, like that I'm actually a part of, but all the other ones are like Horno stories. Like that time, they handcuffed like PMO to his own car. I was trying to think of where that was, and I was like, no, that was Horno.
So after I had already left onto our deployment, booze cruise over to like Oki in Japan and all that. One of the platoons that was still there on their last night, they had lit a fucking dumpster on fire and rolled it down the fucking like the main drag on Horno. It was like their going away present.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I won't say who, which unit.
Please don't.
Yeah, I won't say which unit, but I remember it being like 11:30 at night. It was like a duty, and this woman just comes up to the desk, like just like a female Marine, and she's like, there's like 8 fire extinguishers just laying about the area. And I was like, excuse me? And I was like, I couldn't even tell you where 8 fire extinguishers were in the area. And she's like, yeah, they're just like on the ground everywhere around you. And we go outside and some dude is like, fuck this place. And you just see it. I come out at the perfect time to see a fridge. You know how the mini fridges with the microwaves on top?
Yeah.
For third deck, just off the edge. And pull out the radio. I was like, Staff Sergeant, you awake? Yeah. You might want to come down here. Why? Just come down here. He got tackled and they stole the duty pistol. It turns out they went to all the areas. I don't know how many. I think there ended up being like 9 to. I found 11. There's like somewhere between 10 and 11 myself. I don't know if there was more, but the ones I collected and rounded up when the PMO came, they were all like, yeah, we just opened our door. It was all simultaneously. They all went down the line, knocked on the door, and when people answered the door, people they don't know just unloaded the fire extinguisher on them. And that was I remember coming in to tell the duty, and I guess like he had already like met them there. So I was like, Staff Sergeant, I was like, there's like a fuck ton of fire extinguishers out there. And their handler had already showed up, and I was like, I'm gonna go collect them. And I just turned around like mid-sentence. I was like, there's a fuck ton of fire extinguishers out there. They all turned, and I was like, and I'm gonna go get them. And I just turned around and left.
Hey, if you give yourself a job and leave on that job, they can't reassign you to the bullshit.
You say anything confident. I did go collect them. I wanted to know how many there was, and I was on duty, so like that was going in the report.
Did you ever do the clipboard trick?
Was that? Probably not then.
So I did this with a mop when there was bullshit going on, but it's like you get a clipboard, right? And you walk really fast somewhere. No one will stop you. No one will interfere with you whatsoever. So I would do that with a mop. I would just get a mop and walk like around, or like get somebody.
Hey, where are you going? Oh, it's everywhere. I got it. It's everywhere. Oh my god, I can't believe I never thought that. No, it was always
or get some other shammers together, just get cleaning supplies and walk off into the woods.
I think the only thing like that I could ever think of is sometimes I sit on my left hand and then I use it and it'll feel like someone else is doing it. But other than that, we just like if somebody was like, "Oh, where's Harris?" It'll just be like, "He's taking a shit," and that just means they don't know. I could be getting lunch. I could be taking a shit. I could be passed out. I love sleeping under vehicles, dude. There's something liberating about supposed to being at work and just being hidden under there. Just waking up and it's like, oh, there's still broad daylight out here. Like, you ever like go to the bathroom and then crawl back under the vehicle?
It amazes
put a brush in your hand and just.
It amazes me, like, with all the work ethic that we had as kids. Like, then once we got into the Marine Corps, I don't know about it for you, but for me, it was like 3 to 6 months in, I was like, fuck this work ethic. It won't help. Shammer.
I don't think it's the same, though, because I feel like a lot of people are going to hear, and I like even people who are in, a lot of people are just going to hear, like, oh, like they just, like, fucked off while they were in there. We got the work done. But I ain't pretending to work for the rest of the 8 hours after that. You finish like when you don't have an office, like you finish your work very early. Sometimes you're like, we're only showing up so you can control us because we will go out in town and drink at like 11:30 a.m. I don't know why I keep saying 11:30, bro. Oh, I know. I didn't know. I was almost 2 or 3 years in when I found out that you're not supposed to drink before 16:30. Even if you're officially dismissed at 11:30, you're not supposed to drink until 16:30. And if you do, and you use that as an excuse, you can get in trouble.
Wow.
It's certain units that do it, but I went for another course and they let it. He's like, I'm letting you. He's like, it's Friday. I'm letting you guys out at noon. He's like, but just in case, don't drink. And I was like, Staff Sergeant, I'm having one the moment I get home. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, we're off for the day and it's Friday. Why wouldn't I? And he's like, the order. And then he like read it off. And he's like, are you not familiar? And I was like, I don't even know what those words were individually. Like I think he was right. I think you're not supposed to drink till till the work day is officially over, just in case they need you back.
So, at least for a lot of people in my unit, it was like even during the workday, dudes were already day drinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
was,
excuse doesn't work for me when we all drink at work.
Exactly. Well,
no, I mean we drank at work. There wasn't like we did hide it when we were out in public, obviously, like putting it in our like Yeti mugs and stuff instead
vodka,
of just the beers.
OJ.
Well, they'd be like, hey, oh yeah, I did that in a schoolhouse once, and they almost kicked me out over it. What was it? No, we know that we were gonna stay there till like 11:30 sometimes. They're like, oh hey, like we're gonna do all this paperwork and we're gonna do it right. And he's like, and if you guys mess it up, I'm gonna make you redo that whole page from start to finish. He's like, so we might stay here late tonight. So he's like, if you guys need to drink a little bit to do it, he's like, bring them. So I used to, go change over, grab a hoodie like this and just pocket beer it up, bro. Just load them in here. And then everyone's like, man, today sucks. I'll be like, cheers, bro. Drink to that. I used to say that all the time, bro.
Awesome.
Like, Harris, you drunk? Cheers, bro. I'll drink to that.
Good response. I knew a dude who had vodka in his Camelback during a 20K hike.
Yep. We didn't do it. I didn't do it on a 20K hike, but we did it on like the smaller ones.
Oh, okay.
They tried to get me in trouble one time because we had this thing. I don't know what you guys call it. I think everyone calls it something different, but when your unit has that like one time a year where you all get together and you all have to go in the fields and you all like drink in the woods or wherever you are, you ever have one of those? It's like only to your unit. Like it's like the whole battalion though, bro. You guys didn't have one of those? You never? It was like a once a year thing. It was usually around the ball, but it wasn't
If we did, I was probably too plastered to remember.
Oh no, ours was like a trek. But we were on the coastline, so we would walk down the beach, sleep somewhere, but we would set up like this cool event, and like you do it in camis, you do it with like the pack on. But
we did.
They have like kegs and stuff.
We did that for Memorial Day.
We just have a night once a year for it, and even like priors. Cool. Like I can go to it now as a prior. Yeah. Like you're invited.
Similar thing. So with Horno, because are you familiar with the crosses?
Yeah.
Yep. So case in point, everyone who is like on 3rd Battalion, that's our thing is like Memorial Day. So technically you're off, but everyone's going on this hike.
After you get up there.
Exactly. So that was our equivalent, I think. We didn't do anything around the ball except for ball celebrations, but
it wasn't like specifically for the ball. It was just, well, it must have been for the birthday because it's in the same month, but
Your unit may have had some kind of big event that happened in the past, right around that time.
I've heard other people have something similar. We just never call it the same night because it's usually based off like your unit name.
Correct. It's so like the first day of March for myself would be one that we'd celebrate. But going back to that though, so like looking at our pretty similar trajectory where we both started off working super young, we both had jobs, like more official jobs than that, like once we got into high school, where it's a little bit harder for people to stiff us on money or fucking the other thing, and I'll bring this up, looking back on it, we just go up to people's doors and knock looking for work.
Just asking what they need. Yeah.
But no, I'm getting it like pedophiles or fucking that. Like that went really well compared to how it could have been. But
I mean, obviously, don't go in their houses even if they like offer money. Like, just don't do that.
And we had a few people.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I never went in a house. I don't know if you did.
I did not, but I did have people who
I think I've been
asked if I
offered. I
wanted
think I've
to
been
come
offered
in.
tons of times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like no.
Like if I want to clean their bathroom or something for like $20, I'm like, no, I don't. Sorry.
No, you can't chain me up in your bathroom, fucking
Yeah,
weirdo.
I don't need that much money, bro. I'm not that desperate. I haven't been paying bills yet, dude. What are you talking about?
$20 is not
Hey,
yet
yeah,
$20.
getting trafficked over $20, I'll pass.
No thanks.
Yeah.
The $20 is a lie.
Dude, I get
What
$20. I get $20. Like my dad's taking it from me. I gotta get like 10 on this job. and remember, we're splitting it too. So.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Did that ever happen with you, where like your family or your parents wanted or needed or expected money from anything we did, or were they pretty good about it?
No, I was just kidding.
Okay.
I didn't really. My dad's worse than me with being a workhorse. Like he still gets up at like 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning to go to work.
God damn.
Like go to work. Like I get up that early to go. I get up at 4:30 to go to the gym.
Yeah.
He gets up at 4:30 to go to work.
And despite the fact that, like, at least for me, every time I saw him, he was ready to drop on his feet. He was still like making time for you and shit. And I was like,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, great parents, good parents.
Awesome, good for you.
I know we can't. I was gonna say, I know we can't all relate to that. I remember you telling me some stuff, and I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Sucks.
I'm gonna go get dinner with my dad. I'm sorry, bro.
No, dude, you're good. You're good. Your parents, your uncle, and everyone made me feel welcome too.
Oh yeah, no, they're
being
all
a massive weirdo.
It was like it's the one thing our family has is that we can just work a bunch.
Yeah.
And just and dude, it's like I forgot where I was going with it.
Here's my
question.
No.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. No, they never needed money from me because my dad used to work until he fucking passed out.
Dropped.
Like he'd just be passed. Yeah, he'd just be like come home and just be like wiped. Like
good shit.
So no, he never. Sure. Even when we were rough off, I mean, like that guy was putting in the hour. So
there you go. I had it happen like once where my parent wanted to know if I would help pay for something when I was a kid in the house, which on the one hand, it's like, yeah, it's for the house. But on the other hand, it made me look at them differently after that. They ended up not taking my money, which, that's good. But I've heard some stories of guys who were like, every cent that they made, their parents straight up took.
Yeah, I heard stuff like that too. Like child stars are the worst about that.
Oh, right.
So much so that like a lot of them like still don't have access to it once they're older. Like they still don't retain them, or they have to fight for it or whatever.
They recently started changing that to where like and it's kind of fucked up.
I think it goes in their own account, doesn't it? Or it should.
Now it goes into their own account. At least a percentage of it, I believe it's like 60%, has to go into their account that can't be touched until they're 18.
Yeah.
Because of that reason. What was your reason for like going out and doing that? Like beyond the fact that was a form of hanging out that we had as kids, but like
to answer your last question into this one, my parents never asked me for anything, but coming into a household of multiple kids, I also just wasn't like, yeah, sure, you can have this, or like, here's like this, it's like, my dad was like, you can have a phone when you pay for it. All right, I guess I'm getting a job. Like, instead of, no, I want one, or no, I'll do chores. Like, all right, I'll just, I had my first, like, what was your first paycheck job? How old were you?
Oh God, I was like
not like $20 under the table. Like, what was your first like paycheck job?
Yeah. I believe I was 14.
Same.
Because that's when
that's when they would let us work, right? That's
exactly.
That's
so
exactly what it was.
For anyone who doesn't know, in New York State, you can start working when you turn 14, but you have to get work papers from your school.
I forgot about that. It's like a permit.
Yeah, exactly. And like
it's like only so many hours too.
fucking paid attention to that though. So
some places do. Some places get in big
Really?
trouble. I remember working in McDonald's and having people who did that.
McDonald's makes more sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, positions like that. My first, I don't know what your first job was, but mine
Deli.
was oh right, I did know that because I will work there later.
Zoop.
No, mine was a temp service.
Oh wow.
That specifically hired like high school kids in the summer. A lot of them were like, it was more like a rehabilitation program, I think, for like troubled kids who didn't have someplace to go. But
Okay.
it's like a real, like I got like I had my own bank account at like 14. Like my dad took me to his bank, and they were like, "Do you want him or do you want ownership of his account?" And he's like, "No." And they're like, "He's gonna be able to spend it as any way he wants." And he's like, "All right." And I did blow it because it wasn't that much, dude. I was making like like $100 a week. Dude, they wouldn't let you work more than like 16, 20 hours.
Exactly, and it was like
that's if they had
hours.
work. I was in a temp service.
Oh, okay.
So like I don't think I ever did the same job twice. We were doing like picking trash up and like sometimes.
That right there trained you for the Marine Corps more than anything else.
Yeah,
nothing,
I know.
Nothing like random ass working parties doing bullshit.
Yeah, just five delinquents and one stressed out fucking person in charge, just picking up trash on the side of the fucking road.
Who looks like an adult, but really they're in their early 20s and they don't know what's going on any better than the rest of anyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a recipe.
That one wasn't bad. I didn't make much from it, but like 14 years old, dude. We were wasn't that like the year Monster came out, dude?
It was.
We were addicted, bro.
Oh, God.
I have so much Monster in my. I don't even drink that much anymore, just because I've consumed so much in my body. But if Monster wants to like hop on this and like do a blood test on me, I swear to God, we get sponsored, bro.
I will donate my body.
I ain't saying they owe me, but
I would be open to donating my body for caffeine effect research.
Dude, I think we were drinking like 4 a day, bro. We were like 14 years old drinking like 4 a day for no reason.
Yeah.
We just liked them, I guess.
For me, it was more like 2 a day. But
I think that's what we went down to. I think we had a problem, bro. I think my dad said that we were only allowed to have 2 a day.
Oh shit, dude, that's right.
I think
he's the one who enforced it.
Because we didn't believe all the stories that were happening. We just were like, dude, it's like a soda. Like, of course it's bad for you, but it wasn't like the shut down your heart. Like,
well, it
was shutting down people's heart.
The one story that they were able to dig up during that time period, and I reference this to everyone today, for like the effects of caffeine. It was like someone our age, 14, but they straight up had a heart defect, and they drank not 4 Monsters, like the what are they, like 12 ounce?
Yeah, I think they're like 14.
14.
He was a football player.
No, this was a chick I'm referencing.
Oh.
She had heart problems, and she drank 4 24-ounce Monsters in a day and was running around at a summer camp, like doing physical activities. It was like, of course she's dead. She was an idiot.
We had someone local, a football player, who tried to drink 4 like a pre-workout, and his heart collapsed. His heart collapsed on the field. That was somewhere in New York. I remember that one being that one was like, it wasn't like the school. It wasn't like a school we went to, but I remember that being like they were trying to like ban Monster completely because of that stuff.
They tried to ban energy drinks and pre-workout in my unit. Because in my unit, our first command that I had was cool. The second command was a bag of dicks. He had all of the do not do drugs posters up all over the crack house barracks. All of them got torn down, but the one that told you how long they would stay in your system. That's the kind of like leadership and thought process this dude had. But it was because of all the Marines doing pre-workout before their hikes to help them get through a hike. And it was like, of course they're gonna drop dead.
Yeah,
look, this is Darwinism at work.
Some pre-workouts, like Dude, I feels like there's spiders in my veins and I gotta get them out. I'm not kidding, bro. You ever
Behind the eyeball.
Oh
Behind
god,
the
that's
eyeball,
the
I get that
ears.
feeling.
The ears where you can't do like there's no workout that fucking hits the ears, bro.
Yeah.
You're just like sitting in the gym like a crackhead doing this, waiting for your turn on the bench, bro. You spotting me? Yeah, bro, I got you. Hurry up.
let me just dig out the spider that's running around behind my retina.
Dude, it feels like it, bro. I'll be like this in the gym, like yeah, bro. Got any more of that pre-workout? It's
Oh my god. Yeah, so if I have it correct, for both of us, it was like we weren't in a situation of abject poverty, like there wasn't food or anything crazy like that, but there wasn't a whole lot of money to go towards like
in my house specifically. There
Yeah.
just wasn't like I can't just get you McDonald's. I have to get everybody McDonald's. I can't afford getting everybody McDonald's. But if I get McDonald's on my own because I worked and paid for it with my money, like I think we were eating like you might not have been with me for this.
Yeah.
But dude, I was just spending like I know we were getting energy drinks together, but they had just opened a Chinese restaurant in our town. I know we've had it. We had it a couple times.
Yeah.
I know when you'd come over, we would go get it, but I was macking that stuff, bro. Like they were giving it to me like for free. You know, you got to go to a Chinese place a lot to get free food, dude.
Bro, they're like, we got to hook up our best customer right here. That's
oh
insane.
my god, bro! Like I'd come in and they'd be like, "There he is." I was killing it, bro. I was putting them down.
Crazy story about that Chinese place, by the way.
I'm pretty sure they're closed.
No. They closed and then they reopened under a new name and business title.
Oh.
Yeah. But one of the reasons that led up to them closing, by the way, at least the first time, was, now keep in mind, this is like a family. They're all of some Asiatic descent, probably Chinese, who the fuck knows. Once I came back from the Marine Corps, I worked at the local bank. And I found out that back when we were like in high school or shortly after, one of the dudes had ran into the bank. Now they kept all their cash in safety deposit boxes, shouting something in whatever language, I'm assuming Chinese, and shut the door behind him. And the bank staff was like looking confused for a sec, but they locked all the doors. Excuse me. This other dude, also Asian, had a leather jacket, draw your own conclusions, ran in and slammed into the door after that guy. And as it had later come out, the dude's wife, sister, daughter, whatever, the chick who worked the counter there, she had been tied up in the back in the store, and like they were in the process of being robbed.
Wow.
And they had taken this guy to the bank to get all the money out of the safety deposit box while holding her hostage. He had gotten loose, texted the guy, so he ran ahead and got into the bank.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's where we grew up?
Yes.
I can't believe I never heard about that. I mean, you're like the only person I talked to from there still, but I can't believe
this. The only reason that I managed to find out all these details is because I was working at this bank, and that got incorporated into the training for anyone who was starting to work there. It was like, hey, it was like, hey, this is a super small, quiet town, but stuff does happen.
Hey, it's a quiet town, but $20 is $20, dude.
$20 is $20, especially when they have stacks of $20.
Yeah, dude, willing to risk that Blue Man Group audition for him. I'm trying, bro.
No, you're good, dude. I like it. So there's a few random things that I wanted to cover with you on the podcast, and we are at the 45-minute mark, but I'm still doing okay. How are you doing?
Fine. Yeah, no, take your time, brother.
Let me just get some more mic.
You know, you can always pause it too. It's kind of like cutting it, where like you'll just pause it and then it just cuts, and then you just unpause it and it'll pick up again. So that way you don't have to really do the editing.
I'm not gonna edit this, dude. I'm just gonna.
So that's what I'm saying. You don't have to. You just hit the pause and unpause. Like if you have to go to the bathroom or something, you just get up, pause it,
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
it'll freeze frame, and it'll just pick. Like for anybody watching, it'll just it'll immediately cut into the next part where you resume it.
Gotcha.
Like this middle part of us talking like wouldn't have been there without you having to do anything about it. Little tips and tricks. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you for the TED Talk.
That's the first time I've said that, and it actually made sense. Usually I just say it about like when I'm explaining something and like I'm not getting a response back. I'll be like, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Because like I'm just talking to you the whole time. That's the first time I've explained that, and it'd actually be about like the technology part.
Yeah. Just between you and me, I honestly think that's how most TED Talks actually go, is everyone just looks at them like, what the fuck were you just talking about?
You ever watch any of those?
Yes.
If you want to talk about like some of the inspirational ones, bro, you ever watch this one like you might relate to a little bit more, is the Adam Driver one? The guy from Star Wars. He was a Marine. No? He's got one about his story of like, I think he was, I don't want to say the wrong unit. He was on Pendleton for sure. He got in a mountain biking accident and they discharged him over it. And then his unit went to the Middle East without him because he got processed out. Yeah. And then he like you, dude, you should just listen to his like story. Like it's pretty like, and like, dude, he's telling it and he's like, nobody in the crowd's like laughing or like really saying anything when he's like talking about the military parts. They're all just like, like they don't know what to say, bro. It's
awkward.
Drink like 3 to 5 beers. Start it. You'll be good.
3 to 5 beers. You've dialed that in
to start.
Yourself?
Yeah,
to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had to test it out.
What do you recommend during the TED Talk? Do you keep going or do you let it just kind of buzz and fade back?
I'm what they consider an alcoholic. I can say no to my first drink, but if you put one in my hand, like I'll usually try to find some excuse to have another.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's never made me late to work. I don't skip the gym. I pay my own bills. If I want to have a fucking drink, I'm gonna have a goddamn. No, I just don't keep it at home anymore.
Okay.
I personally like TED Talks while intoxicated because I feel like I'm more receptive to them. Yeah. I feel like if I went to go get on one right now, like I am like trying to like you're just like you're watching it, but like, dude, you get a little toasted, bro, and like
microdose.
No. You don't be telling your fans to microdose.
No.
Microdose some Flintstones gummies, maybe.
Exactly. No.
But no. If you like I like to have a few, and then when like, because it doesn't get you like emotional, but like you're kind of more receptive to what's being said because you're there for like you know what I like. Just try it.
Yeah, no.
Get back to me. You're gonna like text me like I get it now.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, I'm trying to find some better way to phrase it, but if you're not slightly inebriated, chances are you've got a lot of your own bullshit going on, and especially when you're watching something, you're judging it.
Yeah.
And you've got all your like bullshit preconceived stuff. So if you just quiet that down a little bit with something of your choosing, whatever you choose to partake in, I make no recommendations. Fuck off. You can't sue me for this.
I just like, I don't know, when I'm like not drunk, I just kind of like to, the research part's just like it gets monotonous, bro. Like when you're doing it all the time, like sometimes like you just want to turn it off. And a TED Talk with someone famous or someone cool, or you know what I mean? Like you kind of want it to be cool because it is someone explaining science to you for like 90 minutes straight at you, and you're just like, hopefully you know everything beforehand. So
have you ever listened to Lex Friedman's podcast?
I haven't. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm a big music person, which is my issue. I'm trying to get into stuff like that's why like TED Talks was kind of my branch. I love music, bro. I gotta have. I've gotta. It's not just enough to listen to the song, bro. I need to feel it inside of me. I need to fuck the lead singer.
Have you seen some of those lead singers, bro? Just listen to their voice. Don't look.
I'm just saying, Hailstorm's my favorite band, but
All right.
Shout out Lizzie Hale.
There we go. There we go.
I
was just gonna say.
I don't know if anybody wants to tag her in this for me. She's just the love of my life. I've seen her live a couple times. I don't have a Hailstorm tattoo. I am getting one. It's not from a lack of devotion. It's just because I'm very poor.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. In this economy.
Oh, dude. I know finances and shit's not your thing, but it just got released here recently that currently only 60% of Americans are working.
So what do you do with your day?
The unemployment numbers get so fudged by the government bullshit. But yeah, 40% of people don't have a job right now, and that.
If you can do that,
we're not in a recession.
Yeah, I'm not. If that's, I don't know, man. It's just
no. Let it flow from you. Make some judgmental statements. My podcast is called Angry Capitalist. Let it flow.
Oh yeah, it's about to come out then. Some people are just lucky, man. You know, some people are coming to good families or good wealth. I remember one time just talking to this guy, and he's like, my adopted father died. Not even my real dad. He's like, I didn't know my real dad. My adopted father died, and he didn't even legally adopt me. He was just like a guy who came into my life, and he's like, I just lived at his house after that. And he's like, he left me 20 or 30 grand. And he's like, I blew it in a year or two. And I was like, on a house. And he's like, I didn't want a job. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, dude. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I know. He's like, I didn't get a car. He's like, I didn't get a house. He's riding around on his, a BMX bike, putting job applications in.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, if that situation was reversed, I don't want anybody to die, but if I were to just come into 30,000 is nothing.
Yeah.
Bro. That's, and especially nowadays, 30,000 is nothing. But you give me 30,000, I'll do something with it.
Right.
He's like, I just wanted to get high and play video games and not work. And that's all he did. He goes, I didn't have one job the whole time. And he's like, I'm near homeless now. So there is the downsides to it.
Yeah.
Imagine a year and a half of not having to worry about anything, dude. It's one of those stupid, would you live in this house if you never had to listen to Beyonce again?
I'll do that.
This mention, that is the weird uncle who tried to touch you a lot, left you a lot of money when he died.
I'm glad that is so I didn't have to. That's immediately where my mind went to. Is that's one of those things too, where so many people are casting shade on people who became wealthy and stuff, and it's all right, look, what would you do if you got 30, 50 grand? Come on, be serious here.
Well, that's always such a stupid argument, because it's always coming from a place of, obviously you're not going to just come into money, so you can just be it must be nice to have daddy's money. Oh no, let me give away my advantage, or let me not use the advantages given to me just because. Right? How stupid does that sound? I get it. It does. Don't be oh, I own my own company, but it's actually your dad's and your dad built it, and you just work there or something.
Yeah.
But I don't really get the hate. There's we have such this trend. We have such this trend that everyone's got to be self-made, that our celebrities pretend to be self-made. A lot of them come out and they're oh, I fucking eating ramen, every noodles without the water, because that's how poor. Yeah, that's how poor we are or whatever. And then
you're
no,
saying that because
they're no, your parents drove a Mercedes. What are you talking about, bro?
He's just making the content about eating ramen without the water because he actually snacked on ramen like that unironically.
Well, I'm talking about the Paul brothers were like that, dude. Fucking they were or at least I don't remember their names, but the other one, the one who looks like he fucking eats sheetrock. Fucking he's like yeah, we were fucking we were so poor growing up, and it sucked. And like, if you Google his house, like, Google, it's such a thing.
Yeah, no,
If you
no,
Google his
no.
house right now, bro, it's like, dude, he
Upper
grew up in like
middle class.
he grew up in like a 5-bedroom house. Do
Yeah.
you remember the vines they were putting out? Like, not if you like them or not. Do you remember the vines they were putting out?
No, dude, I was not into the internet yet.
You weren't
when
into
they were
that
doing
yet?
Yeah.
People are always like, oh, well, they blew up and they were famous. But if you look at their camera quality, dude, they were using actual cameras and actual shots. I remember like me and my girlfriend at the time trying to do some TikToks, but like this, or like this, and they're using like fucking camera crews and like they're editing. It's like they have like they're mic'd up for a fucking 10-second clip. Like, dude, it's
no way.
In something that like in some like it's not like they made money off Vine. Vine didn't make them that money. They came into Vine with all those things already.
Yeah, just further marketing. Like, I mean, on the one hand, still though, it's like if you had that kind of wealth and influence and like that much of a head start, and you still made something of yourself.
Oh yeah,
cool, happy for you. You don't have to pretend to be poor. Now, granted, when one of us makes it, I'll take them to the fucking trailer and be like, yeah, this is the shack that we grew up in.
Well, there's almost no real winning with that, because anybody who does get rich, like anytime you have money, people are like, oh, what'd you do to get it? Probably something like backhanded, or probably something shady, or like you probably fucking owe money, or you're probably actually secretly in debt. Like, it's never like oh, that guy is fucking killing it. Good for him.
And even too though, like the mindset when it comes to that and how people do become wealthy, like case in point, granted this goes more to the financial weeds. Yeah, you can be heavily in debt and still be wealthy, but like if your debt is paying for cash flow that covers itself, cool, good for you.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I was gonna say one of the advice, and this is kind of like my bad advice guru things I have, where I give people realistic advice where you're more likely to do it. And it's not because it's like easier or whatever, but because if most people get into,
please, dear God, start making TikToks about this. I need this in my life. Go.
This isn't where I was going, but just a quick example so you know what I'm talking about. Like quitting cigarettes. How many people can't quit cigarettes because they have to cold turkey it? Like they just can't do the cold turkey. So they start limiting themselves. I personally drank too much soda. So I was like, I will have one a day with dinner. And that is the only time I'll have it. I didn't cut soda out. I still had it, but I would never have a second soda because that was my limit for that. Yeah. I haven't had soda in like, I don't keep track anymore. Like I haven't had soda like today. I know that.
Yeah, like on the one hand, it's like, you know, I still drink energy drinks, but same deal. Like just
energy drinks. I only if I get less than 4 hours of sleep will I let myself have an energy drink.
God damn, you're healthier than I am now.
It's just you make these little rules, and I still get them.
Yeah.
There are days where like I didn't sleep well, and like there's the gym, and I know going into the gym like I'm tired, and I still have night school tonight after like through work, gym, work, night school. So and then like get ready for tomorrow, and then tomorrow's alarm clock's at like 4:30. So there are days where like I'm not above it, but I haven't had an energy drink and I haven't needed one. And if you make these little like I never meant to cut energy drinks out completely. I wanted to reduce it.
Yeah.
So if you take these little steps, eventually it'll just come natural to you, where you'll just like lose track of it with like the other stuff you're doing. Yeah. I don't drink energy drinks at night because I need to sleep, because I'm already not getting enough sleep that I can't risk like it being in my system and keeping me up to avalanche the rest of my day.
So I like identity-based rules. So one that I use for myself, for example, is there was a period right after where I got out of the Marine Corps and I stopped working out as much as I was comfortable with. And like I saw like the other like common You good?
Yeah. I was listening.
Okay. Okay, cool. I saw the other dudes who'd get out of the Marine Corps and they would just start like getting fat and all that shit, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do that. So I started using I'm a fit person, so people work out every day or
Oh
exercise
yeah,
every day.
yeah. I do
Use
that for myself. If I feel, because sometimes I'll drag my feet on stuff if I like know people like don't know. So sometimes I'll announce something kind of early so that like I have to commit to it because I told you. Not like I promised you, but like I told
the
you.
guilt and the
Yeah,
shame.
it's just like
Exactly.
my word won't mean as much if I'm just telling you shit and then I'm like, like I changed my mind. Like now the next time I say something, you're gonna be like, well, we'll see if he does it.
Exactly.
That's just personal though. That's something to me.
Going back to the thing with with how people when it kind of comes to with people with developing wealth and stuff like that. Incidentally, I wrote down some stats because I thought the conversation would go in that direction.
Wild
What
card, baby.
percentage? Say again.
That's a wild card, baby. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Wild card, baby. No worries, you're good. What percentage of billionaires do you think come from the poverty level or below?
It can't be a lot. Do you have the actual like numbers? Oh yeah, it can't. It can't be a staggering amount. I would say it's in the hundreds, not the thousands.
No, percentage.
Oh, okay. Percentage?
Yeah,
17%, 20%,
30%.
30%.
Yeah. It's still not massively high. What percentage of billionaires do you think straight up inherited all of that wealth?
It's got to be like 60 or 70, right? Is that the other
20%.
half? That's the lower one.
And then approximately 50% are like middle class upbringing, and then they went into that.
Opportunity will get you a lot of places, man. Sometimes you
will.
just got to get it out there.
The other thing is the hunger factor.
Yeah.
The drive factor. Do you watch? Have you ever seen Valuetainment, that podcast?
I haven't, but I have some of my own stuff like that.
Okay.
Give me some examples, and I'll tell you mine. But I think
Gotcha.
I think we're pretty similar on this.
Most likely, my specific example comes from the main host of the podcast, Patrick McDavid. He's speaking with this other way older, wealthy dude. And they both have kids, and they both came up from very poor backgrounds. And this older dude had this concern, and so this podcast host was trying to figure out, hey, we both got to where we are largely because of the experiences we had that gave us that kind of hunger to fight to get to where we are. Now, this goes into this other kind of stat that most generational wealth disappears by the third generation.
I could see that.
So
I could see that because that first generation after is usually that rich kid, like where they make like those '80s movies about the mountain rules, or like that rich kid who's like, "This is my dad owns this mountain." Like that is like usually the first generation. I think even Mike Tyson has like a bit about that, where he's like, my son came to me and he's like, I want to be a fighter too, and he's like, you're soft, dude. He's like, you go to private school. Well, you know why Mike Tyson became a boxer, right?
Yeah, because he was fucking vicious and with president and shit.
No, a bully killed his pigeons. He just wanted to.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he just wanted revenge, bro.
I've got to look. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
That is the butterfly effect. Some time traveler moved a chair and a bully killed some pigeons, and now we have Mike Tyson, the fucking destroyer,
biting people's ears
off.
Oh
my god, bro.
Oh my fuck!
Timeline. That guy was post prison. Mike was an animal, dude.
Oh my god!
You want gym motivation, bro? That's some of the stuff I watch, dude. His stare downs, bro. His first fight. Oh my god.
Same deal. Same.
I said it like that.
same podcast host. He had him on, and he was saying that when he was in prison, like 8 to 9 out of
all he did was
work out and box.
Oh my god, I can't imagine, bro.
And if you going to your point too, though, like the fights that he had right when he got out of prison were like, Jesus fuck.
You couldn't pay me to get hit by that, dude. The hunger, though, that is one thing. I don't know if you do this. I don't know if it kind of wraps up in the identity politics. In the identity thing.
Do you pretend to be a strong, independent black woman?
Only in my free time.
Okay.
I don't give myself little comforts because once I start getting comfortable, it's harder for me to kind of like say no to things or like want to go to the gym. When everything's kind of going right and like, you know, like work doesn't suck, I'm up on my school, like all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to go to the gym and hurt myself more. I'm already in pain, like a lifetime of construction. Sometimes I just want to relax. But when I'm already miserable, bro, you're like, what's another thing, bro? Like, of course, yeah, like, yeah. Of course I gotta go to the gym at 3:30 now because you want me to open earlier. Like it's not for everybody and it's not meant for long periods of time, but it is one of the things I've found to be the most consistent with motivating, because if you wait until like, if you try to do it like only when you're feeling inspirational, motivational, or have the time, you're not gonna. And this isn't just the gym. This is just the easiest way to explain it.
Everything. Yeah. I don't know if this is the same for you, but I uncovered this in the process of leaving the Marine Corps about myself, because you know, with like the transition group things where you got to like sit down and talk with each other.
I think
they were running this. They were running this program where they had like.
Were you transitioned?
Yeah, didn't I tell you I identify as they them now?
Oh yeah, Sam
chopped off my dick.
Sam to Sammy. Dude, you didn't have to change your name, Samuel to Samantha.
Fuck you.
That's good. That's a joke. Like 12 years in the making, bro. Oh my I used to say that joke in the 4th grade.
Don't remind me. I just forgot about that, and now I remembered. Jesus Christ.
No, but you were saying about the transitions.
So with the transition training that they have for the Marine Corps, they would like have us get into these groups and shit and talk about like, you know, all our fears and all that bullshit.
Buddy, that's called AA.
Literally, it was practically.
You weren't there by choice. The judge told you to go there, dude. I was there.
It wasn't the judge. It wasn't the judge. It was the sergeant major.
Oh my god! No, I didn't have to go to one of those. I never got consulted for anything.
Honestly, it was.
I just never got caught with anything. Not that I did anything. Not that I did anything, but.
Well, neither. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it was this training, this pilot program they were doing or some bullshit, and so they had all these. This is really what got us to open up, by the way, and we're getting past the hour mark, so I'll wrap this up here in a bit. They had all these students who were going to be like psychologists for the active duty Marines, because going back to Horno, our camp is named Oven. So these were like going to be like the career guidance people, fucking people that you go talk to about getting divorced and
oh my god,
raked over the cold. Yeah, remember? So they had all the new people who were going to be doing that.
Elroy,
like that.
Shout out Elroy.
Elroy.
That guy was cool.
He was cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air.
Awesome, sounds good. They had a bunch of those new people who were like in training to go into their jobs, sit in on the meeting, and keep in mind, we're a bunch of grunts. We don't want to sit around and talk about our fifis for the most part, especially in front of strangers, until one person opened up with something pretty fucked up. And then we saw like just the horror on their face. And it was fantastic. So everybody's like, I can fuck with these people. Let's trauma dump.
I don't think. Oh yeah, yeah. I think people would have a competition to see who could like make him the most sad or make him pity you the
Exactly.
most. I didn't
Or
partake in that one. That one's a little messed up, but it was funny to listen to.
I don't know if they kept going with it.
I don't.
They probably stopped.
But they
But
think about how bad it is to work in a place where they
Yeah.
just pay a psychiatrist to just walk around and be like, "Hey, you look sad. How are you today? What are you doing? Hey, what beer number is that for you today?" Like, it's like, oh my god, dude, getting caught with that guy who had getting caught with a beer in broad daylight with that guy felt like your dad finding you. Well, you wouldn't know this one, but your dad finding you with pot for the first time.
Yeah, no, I was clean as a kid outside the energy drink. So.
Oh yeah, it was that part of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that go? With your dad?
I actually didn't smoke in high school.
Oh, really?
I was kind of pretentious about it.
Okay.
It was part pretentious because like my friends were like burner stoner burnouts.
But you saw the trajectory and you were like, "Fuck
I assumed,
no."
But the other part is like my dad would have whooped my ass if he caught me with it, and there wasn't like I didn't get a lot of privacy growing up, so there wouldn't have been a way to hide that too well. But what I didn't know is they thought I was high all the time because I to this day have like really bad sleeping issues and my eyes are always red. I'm always saying like dumb shit to be funny. Like sometimes like I would just space. They thought because I would like, dude, I'd like confuse like which day it is or what time it is or like what I was supposed to be doing because I was so tired at like 14, 15 that my dad just thought like, oh, this dude's high as fuck. He told me that at like 19 after I'd already moved out. And I was like, I could have been high the whole time and you would have been just cool with it.
Probably would have slept better if you were high the whole time.
Yeah, for sure, Z's, but this is Delta 8.
Oh, okay.
This is not illegal here.
That's not illegal there. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Florida's medicinal only.
Medicinal.
I never thought that either, dude. If you want to have another podcast sometime or have me back on, invite myself back in. The transition of being gone, like you specifically, you were from the same place your whole life, leaving for a few years, coming back. Yep. I know things changed a little bit. My town industrialized, like we hit like the industrial revolution in like the couple of years I was gone, bro. It's like they went out of the Stone Age, bro. I think we're coming full circle. I think we're coming, dude. The railroad came through.
Oh, man, we got a railroad. This town is happening.
I actually do live right on the train tracks, and like every like 2 weeks they do like just light it up, bro. I forgot what I was saying about Elroy. It was kind of important. Yeah, just think about how. I know I already said that, but think about what kind of environment you have to be in that they just released like a psychiatrist Roomba into the area. He'll just wander. He never has a route. There's never like I'm gonna hit rooms 11112. Like he just walks in the area like a shark who just smells it in the air. Like that's depression and tequila. And he's just gone, bro. And the funniest thing is I don't know if it was this way for you guys. I don't think our guys, I think they were just volunteers. I don't think anybody had a degree because if you hire volunteers, they don't have to have the degree. So he was just a guy he was just like the human, like dog, the service dog. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, buddy, take a breath. Like we should go get some help. Like, but as a person, honestly, I don't know. Honestly,
that would be a good bit right there. By the way, I just want to throw that out there.
I'm fairly sure our guy wasn't licensed, and that was like a big reason why I was like, I don't think I'm talking to this guy.
No, I think dark. Like,
no, he ended up being really cool, and he ended up helping out a lot of people. But when you hear, hey, there's just a guy you can talk to.
We had service, the service reduction, like when the Marine Corps was trying to like get back into the proper pyramid shape. We had that kick in. So anybody who is like, I feel depressed because I'm getting divorced was like,
are you still on the IRR?
Discharge? No, God, dude, it's been 6 years.
Has it?
Yeah, I
They
think.
just offered me a recruiting job.
Really? You gonna take it?
Fuck no, dude. It wasn't even a good offer. I think I could find it off air. I think I was like, that sucks. Like I think I've heard people get.
Well, remember, dude, I went in prior to you. I went right after high school. You did other shit for a while. Funnily enough, I had 2 guys go into the Marine Corps, in part because I was speaking with them and talking about my experiences, and they're like, "Yeah, I want to do that." And I was just like, "Oh my god,
yeah, I know
it worked on me."
Yeah, it sounds you are not immune to propaganda.
Well, so it's kind of like I don't know if this was the same for you, but with Schultz, it was like I'll name drop at least my recruiter because fuck him, he's out now. He had just been brutally honest about what the Marine Corps was like, and it was like reverse psychology. So it's like, oh, that sucks. That's what I need in my life. And apparently that worked on some other people just talking to me. Getting back, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. They offered me something else, or they didn't offer. Like this one is an opportunity that they send to everybody. Ooh. I don't even know what this job is. We gotta get into this one off air too.
Okay. Back to it though. During that AA meeting, I discussed how like I was disgusted by like weakness that I saw in civilians while we were in, and I was terrified of that infecting me.
Oh, I meant to say this.
Any time that there's like I'm experiencing like that comfort or like that perceived weakness, it like creates an amazing amount of anxiety in me to like I've got to do shit, I've got to be productive. Let's go work out or start a podcast.
Yeah, start a podcast. I had 2 goals in life, and it was die at war, don't start a podcast, never saw combat, started a podcast.
Hey,
that's how I know we're in the bad timeline, bro. We're in the Matrix. We're in the Matrix, but they put me in like the poor people Matrix where the settings are really low. They call it the Florida server.
Literally, I don't know if this was the same for you, but literally, like the guys who were in before me, like the deployment rotation, 2 deployments before me, they were fighting ISIS.
Yeah, no, that's like what they like. They were like, that's what you're gonna be doing, and I was like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, dude. They're like, you're gonna kill ISIS, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna kill ISIS.
And you get there and they're like, yeah, they're dead already.
Yeah, I don't think I knew anybody who was allowed off the FOBs. I know people who spent their entire deployments not leaving the FOB once. Not even for patrols. They were brought the supplies.
Twiddling thumbs. Oh god.
They weren't allowed to. They were it wasn't a ceasefire or anything, but nobody had died in a while on either side. And they didn't want to they were still putting like mines and shit out, but like we weren't patrolling, so we weren't hitting them.
Yeah.
So it was strict fucking lockdown. Nobody leaves.
Whack.
For nothing.
That'll cause some depression right there, honestly. Just fucking twiddling your thumbs all day. Hoping that they attack your fob to do something, no less.
My
being off in the porta potty.
My bad life or my bad advice guru from earlier, I forgot that we got off topic before I even delivered it, is people should find their own definitions of success. Like obviously like there's like gonna be like living on your own and then like owning the business or whatever it may be, all these things. But for just like people who want to get into hobbies or passions, but they're like, I want to start a podcast, but like I don't have all the right equipment or whatever. Like I'm using my laptop's webcam.
Same.
Like it's nothing like I already had this. I didn't buy this for the podcast. I've bought nothing for my own podcast so far. It's all just been like stuff on my own. And like my definition of success will be when I can live off of it. not when I'm rich. When I get to that goal, I'll reassess what I want. Maybe I don't even want to be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to live off of it comfortably. And that'll be my definition of success. And that might be different from everybody else who's got to be like, I've got to be the CEO. I've got to be rich. That's all cool down the line, but I need something in my hands like soon, dude. I need those results, or I need to see that like results are coming.
Even if it's just seeing the traction is like, it's everything.
Go
for it.
My definition of success can be lower than the next guy's too, but because I use the GI Bill to go to school, and it covers all of my bills. I live within my means. It covers all my bills. I still work almost full time to slightly over full time, not like overtime, but like 45 to like 50 hours, like nothing insane anymore. And that covers spending money. That covers podcast money. That covers like the car breaking down and not having to like mix things around money. So I might not make a bunch of money off I might not make any money for a while going to stand up, but I don't need it to be what making the money, because I have 2 other sources of income.
Fuck yeah.
So
I think that's a really good way to think too. Getting down to what is your objective in life? What is your definition of success?
Well, I think that prevents a lot of people from even going down the path, because they're like, I won't feasibly, like, I don't have money to like just drop on a brand new like camera setup and like a brand new one, but didn't stop me from getting into it. I think some people will be like, oh, I can't afford the ring light. I'm not even using one. These are just the LEDs I already had in here.
Lighting looks perfectly good. I mean,
I'll work on it. I'll improve things as we go on, little bit by little bit, but I didn't wait until I had all those things to do it. And I think I needed to hear that. I think that's something I needed to hear.
Yeah.
What took me so long to make anything or get out there. So I kind of like, if I have the opportunity, I kind of like to, I hope someone hears that and just does it. Just goes for it. Just do it. Shia LaBeouf.
Do it. But like,
make your dreams come true.
Figure out what your definition of success is. Figure out what you want to do, and start moving toward that in any capacity that you can, no matter how small.
One of my friends likes to say 1% every day, 1% better every day. Yeah. Wow. Like if you do 1% better every day, like eventually you will get to 100%.
No doubt. No doubt. I think that's a pretty damn good spot to end the podcast for this episode.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Starting to get off the track ramble.
Yeah, no, it was good. Thanks. I just want to say thanks for having me on, and it was like,
thank you.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be here, and I'm glad you're doing this, man. I'm glad you're getting out there.
Yeah, thank you. All 158 subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. If you did watch to the end, we'll see. We'll see if they keep rolling in. But speaking of which, where can people find you?
The Alternative Lumberjack is my Instagram name. I am the host of the Unlucky Charms podcast, which I host on YouTube. I will be moving it to Spotify soon. I have not done so yet, but right now it's the Instagram Alternative Lumberjack and the Unlucky Charms podcast on YouTube.
Right on. What kind
which you've been a guest on.
I have been a guest, so if you want to see that episode,
I was going to say a good bridging point would be to go from this episode to that episode.
I'll try and link that as the end video. Send the link over.
Okay, yeah, I can do all that.
Pick it up. Perfect. What kind of content do you do for your podcast?
The point
what's your niche with what you're doing?
What I'm aiming for right now is I'm trying to like kind of put a spotlight on local talent, I guess, because it took me a while to get into this. There was a couple times where I was like, oh, I'm gonna do stand up now, and I'm like, oh, it's not a good time, or like, oh, I don't have the money, or I need to be focusing on like work or something. And there are people out there who are getting it, and there are people who are like, you know, they're living that life, and it might not be like breaking in the dough, but a lot of people are like happy. A lot of people don't mind performing like battle of the bands concert stuff, like local band stuff. Like that's a
yeah.
cool way to spend your Wednesday night. Like
Hell
a
yeah.
lot of times they're attached to bars, so you can already be drinking while you're there. And I wanna get out there, and I wanna kind of, my goal, the real goal, is to get interviews with these people and kind of put a spotlight on how not hard and intimidating it is to get into, and what they do to do it. And then ideally, I would like to check back in with them at different spots in their career if they'd have me back on, or come back onto my show, and then kind of show like the differences. But honestly,
and their
man,
growth and their development. I love
but
that.
honestly, man, it's kind of like the personality thing you said. I just couldn't justify going to a bar to see music when I know I had to get up so early. But if it's for work, like it's something I can rationalize. It's something I can budget for. It's just a little trick. It's a little trick that works in my mind, where I get to do something, where I'm creating something, and I have an excuse to get out there at the same time. So there's a bunch in there.
Good shit. Awesome, dude. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. And
I want to be the first person to tell you, like, good first episode, bro. I can't wait to see how you grow as a channel, man.
Not exactly my first episode, but my first interview.
I thought. Oh yeah, no, I meant interview. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know it wasn't your first.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thanks for coming on, dude, and thank you for getting this started for me.
Hell yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it, brother. All right, catch you later.
Catch you later.